Hey you guys, I'm back with another TikTok and I'm following up with a part 2 on my theory of why Jacob, Esau's brother, is a creation of the white race and how the white race and Frankenstein have many things in common. I'm here to break it down for you on my theory. I have evidence, I have video, so stay tuned. So, to start this off, I want to give you guys a quick history on who Jacob really is. So, Jacob comes from the line of Isaac, and Isaac is Abraham's son. Now, Jacob was born with a large head, just like the photo that I have in the background, or characters like Megamind and Pinky and the Brain. Now, because Jacob was born with this extremely large head, and again, I mentioned how he was extremely smart, he learned physics by the age of 6. I believe that Jacob's early experience of social rejection contributed to his sense of superiority and independence, and I think that was a part of his hatred. Now, I believe that during his time with living with his uncle Laban and his two wives, Rachel and Leah, I believe that his cunning business dealings with his uncle Laban and just his ambition for desire and power and social rejection because of how he looked, I think that all was a combination as to what built a hatred, anger, and animosity for his own people and society at large. I think that's all what started brewing inside of him. Now, his uncle Laban benefited off of him economically because he knew that Jacob was extremely smart and he was extremely cunning and he knew how to make that bag. Which is why I believe Laban tricked Jacob into marrying Leah instead of Rachel, which was Jacob's real one true love. That way, his uncle Laban would have him working for over 14 years and getting all this money from him. Now, within that 14 years, Jacob expanded Laban's flock by experimenting on them, growing them in number. Therefore, Laban was able to make a lot of money. So this is where I believe the first genetically modified animals were coming from because he was experimenting on his uncle's flock. Now remember, Jacob lived over 150 years. So he had 200 years to kind of create his creation. So time is passing, and because Jacob has a desire to create a people who would rule over the current people that he was living with, because remember, if you're somebody that is extremely smart, you will start to question authority. You will start to question the natural order of things. You will become more annoyed with a lot of things that's happening, and you would think that you're better, more of a pompous kind of spirit. Now, over time, he managed to gain over 60,000 followers within his community that thought just like him, that also wanted to follow him. Now, because his influence started to gain traction in a lot of people, the other citizens around wanted him gone. They wanted that ideology gone. They were tired of his experimenting on animals and people and things of that nature. They were tired of his behavior, so they exiled him to an island named Patmos. Now, Patmos is an island that is outside of the ice wall. Now, I believe this island is a part of the third ring of the ice wall. Now, I'm not going to debate anybody if the ice wall continents are real or not. I believe that we've done enough digging to know that that is true. Now, he arrived at Patmos with his 60,000 followers, and his whole goal was to establish a new society. He set very strict laws, and he organized his own personal breeding program, and he trained the doctors, nurses, and scientists to help him basically execute his plan. Now, if you read in the Nag Hammadi and then you read in the Pistis Sophia story, she speaks about a laboratory being set up on Earth. Now, this breeding program, Yakub called it a grafting process that would basically produce the white race. Now, when Jacob was 6 years old, he learned the laws of attraction and he applied that to human beings, realizing that people also can be grafted the same way through selective traits. So he took that ideology and created a new species. Now, here's the bombshell. Now, right after I did my video yesterday about Jacob revealing kind of all of this, my husband found a movie last night that confirms everything that I've been researching and just gives us a good visual of what was happening on Patmos Island. Now, this movie is called The Island of Dr. Moreau, and it's free on Tubi. You guys should run over right now and watch this movie and compare everything I'm saying to your everyday life, what you see, how the so-called white people act. Compare everything you see. So this is what the man finds on this island. Now, this is an animal that has been spliced, giving birth to another species, because remember, they're trying to get as close to white as possible, so they have to do multiple breedings. Now, you guys just saw that clip, right? It was like these humanoid spliced with animal type of creatures or beings that were helping another one give birth. See, he's the first human to set foot on this island, and they are trying to beat him. So this Planet of the Apes monkey is like, oh, this is me. You guys see how they set up the Pope, the same Pope that we have here living in the Vatican. You see how all of this started. This is what was going on. Listen to what he says, you guys, about the sun.
Don't you feel the heat? As I do. I can't tolerate the sun. And what it's doing to me, what it's doing to all of us, all life on earth. We must put down the combat.
Now here's a scene where he's speaking about his children, the people that he created. And as you can see, they evolved from animal to human. And I believe these three men represent all of the sons of Noah and the seed intersecting with those true people. Okay, these beings intersected with our blood. Now, this is where it blows my mind, you guys. This is where the Baphomet, the half goat, half human, comes from. It comes from Patmos Island. Look at this guy. He is supposed to be the law. Look what he says, and look how he looks. You guys see him? Half goat, half man. Teaching them the law of their land. So I believe this gives more credence to the Darwinism theory, how they came from monkeys. They knew what they was talking about. This is true. Now you guys see where we got the Baphomet from, and why even today some of those people still worship this same creature. The same creature I showed you in a movie. He was nothing more than made in Yaqub's lab, giving out the word. How did he get the word? Because remember, Jacob is still a part of the one true God's line. Abraham still taught him the laws of the Most High. He had both knowledge. He knew the laws of God. He knew the way of living. It's just that, like any movie, he was bullied a lot, and it just turned into hatred. And the Most High tried to intervene with him, which is why he had a vision called Jacob's Ladder. That was the Most High's way of interjecting his mind of reminding him of the covenant. Now, this will also explain why in Ireland and all along those Europe, they talk about mythical creatures. Where the mythical creatures come from, you guys, they came from Patmos Island. And also in a movie, you will see where the creature Bigfoot was created. Bigfoot and some of these animals running around here, you guys, are nothing but descendants of what happened on Patmos Island. This right here is an example of some things that was going on. A blemmy, which is true. You guys can look this creature up. You guys, Jacob sold us out. He taught these beings, these creatures, the law, because he knew the law of the Most High, but it was mixed in with the hatred. He knew the Bible. That's how they were able to turn it into Christianity, you guys. Just take a look at our government and how it's ran. Doesn't it look just like that movie? Now, if you want part two, put it in the comments.